And we're back, and welcome back to Backstage. I'm your host, Mr. Magic. My guest today is Gavin Jotta Smith, the guy, True Step Foundation. So, Gav, we've talked about how you're inspiring the youth. Like I said, I've been there a couple of nights in your youth program, and it's absolutely fantastic to see the talent, that is coming up, with our youth, and hopefully we can get some of these guys on Backstage soon to find out what's going on there. So, for you, where did it all start for you musically? Man, how old were you?
Well, it kind of goes actually interesting that we're in this space as well, because one of the early days was around here. When I was coming up, I had a few key moments in my development that kind of affects everything to this day. One was my father was really active in promoting events when I was younger, so he did shows at in Ruri particularly, I became this sort of space as creating sort of hotel type showcases. And so I was always sort of on the scene watching some of the great artists perform, everything from sort of folly type dancers to steel pan bands. And I was watching him trying to figure out the tourist model in the days of the dying industry. And that was very interesting to be on the sidelines and watching, my father, my hero, try and figure this stuff out. Then he moved on to doing larger scale promotionals, and I got to be there to watch the first rap show ever in Bermuda, which was a show called Rap on the Rock, which took place at BA back in it must have been 1990, 1989 maybe. And at that time, he had some of the hottest rap acts in the world. So he had Noise by Nature, Leaders of the New School, Nikki D, big world artists for their first time doing a show overseas or in an island. And I got to hang with them and be with them backstage and everything. And that kind of opened my eyes up to the potential that these people are just people.
Yeah.
Just people trying to figure it out too. From there, and sort of experiencing what shows were like, me and my crew wanted to be artists and performers. And I didn't know what to do at the time. I remember being at, we was at Berkeley, and my brother in my class, this guy Tyrone, he was just the wickedest singer, like a real incredible R&B vocalist, natural. And I was always in the class with him yo man, if I could sing like you, I'll be doing it for real. I'll be trying to go platinum. I was doing all that. And he was like, there ain't no way to do that in Bermuda. There's no place for us to go to do a thing. And that always kind of resonated, and I made a deal with him that if I could find an opportunity for us, for him, would he pursue it? He was like, yeah, you find any way to go forward, I'll come in. And so at the time I was like, okay, now I got to figure out that part of the puzzle. And I sought out JT because JT was managing Triple Threat at the time, which is the hottest rap group, the only rap group at the time, really. And my boy Roddy was in Triple Threat. I remember Roddy from a lot of people know him, D Riddler.
Yes.
I think one of the lead vocalists of DIA band now. We met in summer camp at Camp Lovejoy on Ports Island.
Ports Island, yes.
And when we were there, they had a talent show. And he was always rapping around. And I was like, you should do a rap. And he was like, dang, let me rap in this Christian camp. I was like, no, that you did. So got him in the thing and he killed it. He was amazing. And everyone, he made this real nice Jesus rap. And so he started pursuing that afterwards and it kind of became popular at his school, in primary school. So anyway, so when Ty said, you find an opportunity, I'll go. I was like, well, Roddy's rapping. Let me check Roddy. So check Roddy, who was with JT, and we started talking and took Tyrone to the studio. And then we started that became the thing we did after school. We were always at the studio. We ended up becoming our own group and team that were going out. Then we added a few other cats that were other rappers. And Ty was the singer in the group. And I would be trying to rap, but wasn't good. And they would always be like, Gavin, don't sing.
Well, everyone's got their little niche.
Yeah. So I was the guy behind the scenes. I was the hype man. I was the slow down, son, you're killing them. I was that guy.
Okay.
And,
See, and I tell you, the guy, see, there's a transition.
Well, the heights of our time performing together was right here. We were in the back for when Lost Boys came here. The Lost Boys was like, this is a song about the shorty named Renee that I met one day. A lot of people, they were big at the time. And they came to Bermuda and performed here, and they wanted to get an opening act for him. And we got to open up for Lost Boys.
Oh, great.
And that was an incredible highlight, most notably for me because I actually broke my foot on my bike like the week before. So I ended up performing on crutches with the guys. We was in here, it's like, it was packed house, and we came on and killed it and got to meet those guys, and it was real cool. So yeah, this space here is a very memorable space for me.
I don't know if you can see this on camera, folks, but he's got a tear coming down. You know, it's so nice and wonderful to hear the nostalgia behind this and your humble beginnings, you know, into the world of music and this form of entertainment, and that you're now passing it on and you're sharing it, you know, with Bermuda, because people don't really get it, the acoustic, but I've seen the following, and you have broken down barriers. You've broken down the race barrier, the I don't like you barrier, you know, because when people come together in that format, there's no black and white in there. It's just a talent, you know, because you really have drawn together a very unique cross-section of people that you wouldn't normally think would be together in one space, you know, and they've done that. So now we're talking about the one space. You've moved to Front Street. And where's the location on Front Street that you guys moved into, and what is the progress on that so far?
Well, the new space is 81 Front Street, it's right between Onion Jack and Asper Dickinson.
Okay.
And it's a large space. It's over twice as big as our previous space. We're paying the same rent that we were paying before, which is really nice for our financials. And with the increased visibility, we've got some real big ambitions to really take everything we've been working on sort of more on the fringe and putting it right in the spotlight, and essentially inverting what we were doing on the block. So we were always actively pursuing what I like to say is like sort of accurate demographics. So for me, it's like if we're operating in China, and China's 99% Chinese and 1% other, then the room should look like that.
Gotcha.
So for us, every event that we do, we try and make it match the Bermuda demographics. So 60-40, a good blend of have not, a good blend of tourist and local, a good blend of you know.
Yeah, so no matter who comes in, they're going to feel comfortable one way or the other.
Just be balanced.
Yeah, be balanced, because then they can look and see if you've got Bermudian artwork hanging on the wall, if you've got cultural you know, things that are there as well. They can have that balance on that.
Tell the authentic story.
Yeah.
And for what we were doing on the block and on Court Street, it was really key to try and attract those that have never been here before or have written it off for whatever reason. And now we're going to do the same thing at Front Street, because Front Street has its own issues and legacies that it has to deal with, and we want to be a part of trying to make Front Street a space for all people, because it really hasn't been for many years. Okay.
And on that note, we'll be back right after this, talking more with Gavin Smith of the True Stick Foundation. And at the end of the segment, I saw him bring his guitar with him. I think we're going to get a little song from him as well. So we'll be back right after this.